Hi guys, and welcome back to Make Waves Ministries. My name is Ashley Rocha. Today we're going to be covering the importance of sharing the gospel. This is a topic that is always very convicting and very difficult to take because when we hear that reminder that we need to be sharing the gospel and telling other people about the Lord, it's really hard because sometimes we can feel like it's a message that if you grew up in the church, you've heard probably 100 times. And you probably heard the importance of telling people that, we have to share the kingdom and we have to tell them about how much the Lord cares about them. But when's the last time we actually stopped and reflected on the importance of that message? I found for me personally that when it comes to kind of reigniting my passion for the gospel and for wanting to share the gospel with other people, it starts with me recognizing for myself how valuable that gift of God is. Like, it was totally unnecessary. He totally didn't have to do that, but then he gave up everything to come and be here for us. So I just want to use the first half of this video to reflect on the gracious gift that the gospel is, and then the second half to remind us and encourage us on how we can go forward and continue to share the gospel, but also our reasons and motivations for continuing to do that and to continue to have that excitement for sharing the gospel with others. So first of all, when it comes to reflecting on the gospel, I think one of the things that's really helpful is when we can reflect on our own lives. So we think about, when's the last time we had a thought that was something that was not honoring to God? Probably about 12 seconds ago. There's a lot of things that we do in life, like everything that we do in life. Every moment, every thought, every action, they all have opportunities to be something that is not fully focused on the Lord. Our hearts and the reason for our being is to know God and to have a relationship with Him. So when we have changed things and we focus on ourselves or we focus on other idols in our lives, at that moment we've already begun to sin. We've already started to do the wrong thing. And so that started happening before we were even aware that those things were wrong. So we've been doing the wrong thing since the beginning, since the very beginning of our lives. If that is the case, if it's true that we've never been perfect, we've never been good enough, something that I've personally dealt with a lot is I really value being able to perform in a certain way. And I feel like in order to gain a certain amount of recognition or something like that, I have to be able to perform. And something that the Lord really had to remind me of is that there was nothing that I did or could ever do that would convince him that it was to talk him out of wanting to save me. And that's such a concept that it's hard for me to wrap my head around because we live, especially just, when everyone's telling you gotta move forward, you gotta perform better, you gotta work harder, you have to do all these different things in order to get the grade that you want or get the promotion that you want or any of those factors. Everything is laid out by a checklist of things that we need to become. And so when it comes to Christ, we don't often think that it could truly just be because he is good and because he is love. That idea is so foreign to our minds and to our world. And for anyone to really do anything for someone else just because they want to, it's rare and it doesn't happen a lot anymore. So it can be difficult and understandable that when we think about God, who can do anything that he wants and who's capable of everything and can have anything he wants, that there has to be some sort of, motivation that he has or something to go and to die for us. Because again, it almost seems too selfless and too good to believe. So if it's true that God, who already has everything, and that there's nothing that we can give him that will make his world or his life any better. He has everything he already needs. Then just think for a moment that he gave up everything to gain back us who couldn't add anything to his world. And he simply did it because he's good and he's love. And just reflecting on that, that's crazy. Like, when's the last time that any of us have ever done something for someone, even just on a relatively large scale, that's really self-sacrificing? It's not often, and we don't do it a lot because most of the time we're so focused on ourselves that we forget that there are other people out there that need someone and that need help and that need encouragement and friendship. And God was not required to, but he gave up everything just to come and be with us and to take care of us and to save us. And not just to save us from today or tomorrow or next week or just even this lifetime, but to save us for forever. And a gift like that is, I think it can be hard for us to accept that because we don't know how to repay. And oftentimes when we don't know how to repay something, then it's really easy to just say, I can't even really wrap my head around this, so we just distance ourselves so that we don't feel that pressure of, man, I just don't even know how to accept this. Like, this is so big and it's so good. So as believers, focusing in on that and thinking about that good gift that the Lord has given us, there are so many other people out there that God wants to give that gift to. And it is beyond selfish of us if we think that, God is freely giving us this gift. And there was someone, whether your parents or a pastor or a friend, who told you about the Lord. I don't think that we are called to just be satisfied with the faith that, and the good gift that God gave us and not extend that to other people. I know it is never our intention to not tell other people about the Lord, but he has given us more than we could ever need or deserve. And yet we still focus on ourselves, and we still focus on the tiny details of our lives that just aren't perfect yet and that aren't good enough, in the areas that we need God to do something bigger and better so that we're finally happy. So then once we're happy, we can go out and help other people. But I think that we need to recognize that there is a countdown happening, that the Lord will be returning, and we don't know when that is. And so for us to assume that we have so much time, but then to put the eternities of other people's lives aside while we wait for our lives to become something perfect, it's just not worth it. Like, for me personally, I feel like I can't defend that. I feel like I can't defend, like, getting to heaven and being like, oh, Lord, like, the reason that I put it off was because other things in my life weren't great yet. And so I didn't, because my life wasn't going great, like, I really didn't want to, share the gospel with other people because, like, I was still working out, like, so many other things. And the Lord didn't wait until we were, like, in a good place, or he didn't put off our salvation and coming for us. Like, he came and he did it within 33 years. He didn't wait till he was 70 to be crucified and to die. Like, he waited until he was at the point where God knew that he was ready and that he had done ministry, that he had grown up, that people had relationships with him. And then once that happened, then in the Lord's perfect timing, he said, okay, now is the time to go and to be killed and to lay down your life. And so if he could do that for us, I don't think it's acceptable for us anymore to just wait around until our lives are settled and until we like get that degree, or we're in that relationship, or we're working that job that we want, or we had that car, or we're making that certain amount of money, so that like we are settled and then we can go out and like share the gospel. I just personally couldn't defend that myself, to say, oh, it was worth the wait. It was worth putting it off until my life was in order. It's not worth that, because even the things that you get in order here and that, get put together and all those things, all that can crumble instantly. So it's really a question of, where, like, what are you putting all of your investments into? Are you putting it into what's here on earth? So once you had that job, and once you're in that relationship, and once you start that, career or whatever it is, that, okay, now that I have this, right, then I can move forward with my life. But that can be gone in like a second. But then if you're working over here for eternity and the things that will truly, truly last, even if those people walk out of your life and you never see them again and something happens to them, or you have to move away or whatever, it's like you've made an eternal investment, and that will never go away, and that will never stop reproducing, because once we're able to tell someone else about the Lord, then they can begin to tell other people about the Lord, and then it multiplies. But if we're just building our own kingdom, it's not going to get us, it's not going to help reach eternal things unless it's something specific that you felt like the Lord has said, pour into this, like invest in this area. And there's nothing wrong with having passions about different things in life, because I believe those are from the Lord, and He works through those for us to be able to serve Him in specific ways. And that's so encouraging and so exciting that the Lord allows us to use the things that we're passionate about. But we cannot hide behind those passions, and we cannot hide behind those things as if those are the goal. The reason that we have any of those skills, and the reason that we are good at things and that He gifts us and stuff, is to be used for the Lord and for the kingdom. So if we stop at what we're passionate about and what we're good at, and we just end there, we've totally lost sight of its entire purpose. So I just wanted to motivate and encourage you today. Don't wait until your life is put together to start sharing Jesus with people, because they, like, the people, and telling them about the Lord is the eternal investment. Those are the things that are never going to be lost. Everything else can be. You might have that breakup. You might, have your house burned down. You might lose that job. You might have to move away. All these different things that we begin to build, they can fall apart. So let's not build things that are gonna fall apart. Let's be wise and do things well and seek the Lord and His wisdom and how we should live our lives. But at the same time, don't just fall for what is the empty stuff, and go for the things that will last forever. The things in the lives of other people, the opportunities to have hard conversations and to share with those who don't want to listen, that like the Lord loves them. Because when we stand in front of the Lord one day, we're going to have to answer for all the opportunities that we had and for the gifts that He gave us. And He's going to ask us, did you use these things? Did you use them to help my kingdom, or were they just for you? So that's my thoughts for today. I hope you guys have a good rest of your week, and thank you for listening, and I hope that was encouraging. So thank you. Bye.